ladies, gentlemen, and those who identify otherwise, how are we all doing tonight? I need a little bit more than that, everyone. How are we all doing? There we are, good to hear, good to hear. It's so nice to see so many people. We didn't have to beg anyone. I didn't get on my knees once. Well, I did, that's a lie. But that's a separate thing. But yeah, so thank you all so much for coming. I'm just going to run through a couple of quick things with you all. So first of all, feel free to, if you need to head out at all at any point for whatever reason, please feel free to do so. Just try not to make lots of noise. We're a skittish bunch, and we could get quite distracted if there's people shouting and screaming. So if you need to leave at any point, we'll come back in. That's absolutely fine. Just try not to make a thing out of it. Also, I'm not really sure how many of our acts intend to do any crowd work. I'm definitely going to be doing some. But if anyone here is, for whatever reason, not comfortable with any crowd work going on, just give a little signal to the performer, just a little, will do. We will just move on. It's absolutely fine, no stress at all. If anyone doesn't move on, we'll just fight them. On the spot, I'm stood right there. I will get up, I will scrap them. It's fine, it's no stress. We put that in the risk assessment, I think, so it's fine. But yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to do the bit that no one really cares about now, which is I'm going to talk about myself. So, my name is Dan. I'm a first-year counselling student. Did anyone know that was a thing? I know. One of my clients is in the room tonight, apparently. No, so, as a counselling student, you actually have to do like counselling practice. So you've got to do 100 hours of actual client work with people before you're allowed to do client work with people. Which seems a little bit backwards, because you could say whatever the fuck you want in those 100 hours. Doesn't matter. It's all training. You can get repeat gigs in that real easy. Although don't tell any of my tutors that I've said that. No, so for those 100 hours, it's actually a lot more lenient than you think it might be, because you can get whoever. You get whoever you want. And I've got a few friends who, because I'm a counselling student, they'll be like, Dan, I need to tell you something. Don't tell anyone. And I'm like, okay, I'm not telling anyone. Anyway. No, I would never tell anyone. On a side note, I've got a friend who, so I've got someone, one of my mates, he said to me, he was like, Dan, I need to talk to you about something. I'm like, of course. What's going on? And they went, well, you know how I'm a food tech teacher? And I was like, no. But they went, yeah. So I'm a food tech teacher, and I've got lactose intolerance. And I went, wow, that sounds like the setup for a joke. No. And they said before class, the night before. Idea at the time, it always does. They had big dominoes, and then next day they came in, diarrhea everywhere. And I said, wow, it sounds like shit hit the fan. And they went, no, it hit the pan, actually. Missed the pots, though, thankfully. But yeah, so that's kind of my little warm-up bit. I've gone through everything. So, how do we feel about welcoming our first act for tonight? Now, our first act is a real big shot, okay? I've got the big guns in to open us up. We've got some exciting stuff. So, our first act is a Chortle finalist. And is looking at me like he wants to kill me right now. Please welcome to the stage the ever wonderful Fred Cover!
I mean, let's not rush into this too quickly. You're also far away and high up. Got vertigo. I feel like the Beatles that time. Yeah, let's not rush into this too quick. Let's not rush into it like those people that seem to be proposing in public bathrooms all the time. Everyone I go into nowadays is engaged. Bit of fun. I'm young, I've got dreams. Do we all? Just me? Hope not. Maybe everyone shares this dream. Every day I wake up and I hope and I pray that the news tells me that they've found the next Banksy on the moon. I pray that there's like a slow satellite, like a high-powered telescope image zooming in on a crater on the moon, and it zooms in and it slowly reveals a stenciled spray paint black and white image of like a pope blessing a kid with a gun, and it says Banksy. That would make my day. It's what I'm holding on for. Because what? You find a Banksy on the moon, billionaires start bidding on the moon, they take it as their opportunity to buy the moon. Buy the Banksy, you get the moon. Banksy spray paints something on someone's house, you can bid on that house now, apparently. And just as the last gallows struck on the sale of the moon, in classic Banksy fashion, it explodes. It kills us all. That's how I want us to die. Banksy on the moon. I've also I've got little prompts. I've got a lot. No amount of mustache hides your face paint you put on the night before. You're like Heath Ledger. Anyway, so I got a message in the flat WhatsApp. It said, "Whoever is leaving food in the plug hole is disgusting. Stop that." Like the turgid sort of spaghetti and mushrooms that sort of clog the plug hole, sort of oily soup of lunch that forms, and I think this was targeted at me for two reasons. The first is I quite like it. I quite enjoy fiddling around in the plug hole.
The mic is stuck. Fred Cover! I'm going to do a little interim bit now. 4K. I don't get it. That's all I have to add on to that bit. No. Fred was talking about dreams earlier, and I really sort of resonate with that. Does anyone here have dreams at all? This is the crowd work bit. This is the obligated crowd work bit that I've got to do for about 30 seconds before I introduce the next act. Hello, you look like you had your hand up. Hello, what's your name? I know your name, but for the audience, for the crowd. Ed, what is your dream, my friend?
To drive a tank.
You want to drive a tank?
Yes.
There are a few places you probably could do that at the moment.
Down the road.
Down the road. What, like along here?
Yes.
Okay, you know what? I'd be kind of up for that, to be fair. I know we've got a few people in the audience who would probably also be up for that. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I can't remember who's next in the running order. This is a nightmare. I'm very well organised, as you can tell. Aha, I remember now. So, coming up now, we have someone who advised me to use this introduction, the introduction of Token Woman. I'm so against that personally, but I've said it now. Please welcome to the stage the wonderful Martha!
This is way too high. This is not gonna work. Oh no, it's okay. I'll stand in. I'd like to say that Dan came to me with that introduction and I said yes. That wasn't my idea. I just enforced it. I've been trying to be more gender inclusive recently. I say guys quite a lot when I mean more than just men. I've tried to swap it out for a few more general terms, but I found that all of the more general terms are very American, you can sound very Western very quickly, very cowboy themed, like folks and y'all. It's impossible to use them in like a serious context, I find. But like, yeah, what's up y'all? How's it going, folks? And it's like, even cowboys are needlessly gendered. cow people. You don't know whether they're rounding up the cows, taking care of them, or they are just bovine creatures themselves. They are also, I found out recently that cowboys only ruled the Wild West for like 30 years. That's like a genuine fact. I think that's because that's the age they seem to all have become cowmen. I'm gonna flip through my book. Okay. I saw a sausage dog the other day. And all that was going through my mind was, wow, look at the aspect ratio on that. And then I was on the way to the zoo actually, and I saw a giraffe. I was like, wow, they've gone the other way. They've gone up. I didn't know that was possible. Have you also seen the sort of POV video trends? Yeah, a couple of nuts. When actually every video is a POV video, because it's POV, you're the camera. Thoughts, feelings? Thumbs up? They're predatorial animals that we've taken inside. And we're feeding them like little biscuits made of carrot and fish. They weren't fishing or farming carrots before we had them. Well, that's not what their diet was. What are we doing? Feeding them like dry cereal every day. I would not be happy living off dry cereal, and that's it. Not having to ask to go outside to piss, and you're feeding me dry cereal? Nah, it's not like, we call them man's best friend. Sorry. Guys, carrots and fish in biscuit form for the rest of your life. And that's our best friend? Yeah. I'm through. I had an IUD put in recently. And I was very scared, but I had to remind myself, babies are just expensive, smelly insomnia machines, and I am already that. I don't need another one. You ever thought about the first person to find stick insects? He's like, dudes. Oh, folks, sorry. This stick is moving. It's alive. Everyone else is like, listen, we've been fooled before. Are you sure it's not just the wind? But guys, I swear, it's moving. It looks exactly like a stick. Well, I've got a name for that. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm good. Yeah.
The lovely Martha, everyone! Martha's done me a wonderful, wonderful favour of finishing a bit early, which means you have more of me. Thanks, like 3 people. No, Martha actually reminded me that I've written a few. I wrote a few one-liners. Well, I tried to write a few one-liners for this old MC bit. I came up with one. So I put a wheel on my crotch the other day. It's driving me nuts. Yeah, I genuinely spent hours. That was genuine hours of my life, and I'm like, you know what? That's a good one. That's for the Warwick Student Arts Festival. But yeah, so thank you for all the love and all the praise you've given to the 2 acts so far. I think we're probably ready for our 3rd act, if they are also ready. Perfect. That was a slightly knowing yes. Please welcome the lovely incoming public speaking president, the lovely Raph.
I am all good. Hello, everyone. So for those of you who weren't paying attention to the introduction, I am Raphael Hammond. I am finishing off my second year at this university at this point, and I am the incoming president of public speaking, as well as a politics student. Now, if you've spoken to me for any length of time longer than it takes me to tell you that, then you will also know, or potentially you will have figured out from the way that I am dressed, that I am French. Yes, it is. It's really lovely to have such a welcoming audience with me here today. You know, it's not always like this. I was in a pub in Leamington Spa, the Cauldron. Have you ever been? Anyone who's ever been? No? Terrible pub. Don't go. I was there. I mentioned being French. I was kicked out of the establishment immediately. Immediately. There may have been two or three more glasses of wine in between those two time periods, but I don't think that's relevant. I think it's post-Brexit discrimination. I think that's what it is. They don't want me here. I can see it. I can see it in their eyes. Santé, everyone, by the way. Do you know they are making English sparkling wine now? Vraiment, they're doing it. It is because they cannot call it champagne. I think it is some sort of joke. Compare these two sentences for me for a minute. Bottled in Bordeaux, Bordeaux. Bottled in Birmingham. You got to be joking. But let me tell you, they are doing terrible things to the elixir of the vine in the mother country on the other side of the channel. It's terrible. And I need to tell you about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about this through the medium of poems. This was a poem that was mostly written by my camarade, the French comedian and poet Marcel Lucon. And it is called, some of the people in the audience already know this, Wine in a Can. And it goes a little like this. Wine in a can, wine in a can. There are some things in life I just can't understand. Has society really gone so far down the pan that we are actually fine with some wine in a can? Wine in a can, wine in a can. As the vineyard completes its noble lifespan, to be lovingly picked by a firm, steady hand, and then stuffed into a tin to be wine in a can? As our history books chart the fall of man, it's coming, by the way. They're getting ready. They will. What's going on? As our history books chart the fall of man, they will read Nixon and then Johnson and then wine in a can, fruit upon pizza, sandals with socks. I thought we'd hit rock bottom with wine in a box. But to add to the list of a cultural ban, just above fascist banners should be wine in a can. Now certainly, it's a free country, unlike Afghanistan. You can drive to a car park and make love in a van. But if you are musing upon boozing, let there be no confusing. Do not stoop so low as to choosing some wine in a can. Santé, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.
Raph, everyone! I actually, in advance of this show, we've got a little group chat with all the performers. In advance of the show, I texted them being like, are there any content warnings relevant to any of the acts? Raph, the lovely, lovely Raph went French. But no, thank you so much for that. Yeah. Speaking of wine in a can, right, I've got something that I need to get off my chest, because this is something that's haunted me for the past few weeks. I need to talk to someone about, and thankfully there's probably about 50-odd people here that I could share this curse with. Has anyone here ever heard of something called gator wine? Oh, a few wounds over here. Does anyone want to share? Close, close. So Raf said it's wine brewed on Gatorade. It's close. It is a 50-50 mix of wine and Gatorade. No, not this. No. Crimes against the French, as Raf would put it. I tried it the other day. I tried it. And it is concerningly not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Wine and the cheapest, shittiest wine you can get, plus like blue Gatorade, actually passes sometimes. It's better than cheap, shitty wine on its own, I'll be honest. Now that I've shared that curse with you all, and hopefully some of you will try Gator wine in the next coming weeks. I'm joking, I really hope you don't. I think we are probably ready for our final act of this first half. No, not final act. Sorry, I lied. There's 2 more acts of this first half. Sorry, I got that completely wrong. Please welcome to the stage the lovely Ed.
Right, thank you for the welcome, everyone. I acknowledge I'm not the biggest man out there, so I just want to check quickly. Can everyone hear me okay? You there at the back, can you see me okay? Then what are the glasses for? Sorry. Well, I'm about to graduate, which is... don't cheer. No. This is a bad thing. This means I have actual life responsibilities now. I can't handle that. Anyway, but it's got me thinking, just looking back now. I wasn't expecting this sort of feeling, but I just finished my last exam, and I was just thinking, so what have I actually learned? In case you haven't guessed, I'm not a STEM student. But it got me thinking, how many things we just don't understand in everyday life that we just deal with on a daily basis. For me, there's this thing I've been paying attention to recently. I don't really know if any of you have heard of it. It's a very niche sort of thing. It's called the economy. And I don't know anything about it, but it controls my life. It controls my mood every day. So, I go on the news or the financial news, and I see those big graphs, and you see the arrows going everywhere, and the numbers, and, I just see the arrow going down. I think, oh no, it's going down. It's gone red. It's a bad color. And I don't know what the people are saying, but I can pick things out, this year the balance of payments has been 3/4 lower than last year. Oh no, low. Low, that's bad. The FTSE 500 has crashed 500, but it's crashed. Is it still alive? But yeah, I've always taken things at quite literal face value, which has caused some problems in my life. Being a history student and all, you're not supposed to do that. You're meant to be critical. That's why I may have gotten in trouble, writing about medieval history. Turns out dragons aren't real, even though people wrote they were, but that's not my fault. But this has also caused problems not just in the grand scope of my life, but just for small things on an everyday scale. So, for instance, I was in the library recently. It's a nice place. Books are decent. Seating could use some work, but I went into the toilet. I'm not proud to admit it. I did. Really needed to go. But as I'm about to sit on the toilet, I notice there's a sign above it. They've pasted these above it to ensure etiquette, and it just says, "Please do not dispose of anything except toilet paper in this toilet." Where do I shit? Anyway, I'm frantic at this point. I turn around, and I see behind me there's the urinals. There's signs above them. I look at them, hopefully, and it says, "Please do not put chewing gum in the urinals." Well, it's not a yes, but it isn't a no. I'm not allowed in the library anymore, so, I think that was one of those occasions where you were sort of meant to read between the lines. But it's caused other problems, I went shopping recently, and I love shopping, which is sad. I'm a 21-year-old man, and the highlight of my week is going to Morrison's. But, I just sort of love going back and forth in the aisles, just sort of imagining it's the last few minutes before a nuclear apocalypse, and whatever I grab with me is all I'll have to eat for the next 3 years, But I went there recently, and I was really excited to go in, but I saw the doors were closed. and on them was a simple message: no, exit. And I hadn't even gone in yet. I had to turn around and go back home. It was awful. I've been eating the fungus growing in the back of the fridge for a week now because it keeps... Anyway. But this is also called... Another thing I used to take very literally, but I think made my family sort of regard me as the odd one out, was I used to have a fixation with zombies. You know, I loved zombie films, zombie books. I had a lot of zombie memorabilia. And I think it got to a point where I was convinced they were somewhat real. And it took several years for my family to convince me, Ed, zombies don't exist. And I think it just sort of plays into my natural-born dream of being eaten alive slowly. You know, it's just one of those things I've always wanted since I was 4. But, you know, I've been trying to think more critically about it recently, and it has come to my attention, there's no way zombies would ever be any kind of a meaningful threat to humanity. They're essentially just slow, decaying sacks of waste. They shamble about the place like this, and it's super obvious when they do show up. You'd have like 5 minutes warning before they even got near you. So they move really slow like this, instinctive shamble. They look like a decaying corpse, and they're drooling everywhere. The only assumption I can make is people mistake them for computer science students until it's too late. Yeah, so... It's not legal to shoot computer science students, by the way, in case you were wondering. We're working on it. So yeah, but I do get a bit concerned about these sort of things in my life, because I think it's turned me into a bit of a social pariah, me not really understanding things. I mean, has anyone here ever heard of the Jehovah's Witnesses? Yeah. 3 cheers for the Jehovah's Witnesses, guys. Come on. Come on, they're my 4th favourite heretical Christian branch, just behind Mormons, just below the Seventh-day Adventists. But, you know, the whole thing you hear about them is there's horror stories behind these. Well, not horror stories, agony stories. They come to your door, they knock, they're standing there very prim and proper, and they don't let you leave for hours. They just talk at you and talk at you until you agree to come to their seminars. But I had the pleasure of meeting one last year. He came to the house, it was about 11 in the morning, I wasn't dressed properly yet, and I sort of shambled down the stairs, sort of like a computer science student, and I opened the door. There's this enormous man, so if you imagine me, but very tall, with white hair, so if you imagine hair like mine, but white, and sort of sharp, vulture-like face, sort of like a bird of prey. So imagine my face, but sort of bird of prey-ish. He just looks down at me, and there's a moment of silence, and I just think, oh God, what am I in for? And he says, excuse me, are you French? No. Goodbye then. And he just turned off and walked away. I'm just that inept that even the Jehovah's Witnesses don't want anything to do with me. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, everyone. You've been a great audience.
Ed, everybody! And Adam adjusting the mic. Yeah, I mean, who here is recently, you know what? Ed's talked a little bit about zombies, right? Has anyone here recently, has anyone watched a horror film recently? No one. Anyone seen it, anyone like horror? Does anyone like horror? Oh, we've got a few hands up. What's your name? Khadijah, lovely to meet you. What, have you seen any horror films lately?
Yeah, but I don't remember any of them.
I think that says a lot about the films you choose to watch. You can't think of any?
No.
Well, there goes that bit. Sorry?
Trying my best.
You know what? I love that for you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Well, there goes that. Is anyone else? Sorry, I hate to do that to you. Anyone else? Oh, hello. What's your name, mate? Amar. Have you seen any horror films lately? You hated The Conjuring. What did you not like about it? It messed with your head.
It was like psychological thriller. Yeah.
That sounds like a kind of the point of the film. You did or you didn't?
I did not enjoy it.
You did not enjoy it. Do you watch other horror films? So you've told me. So you've put your hand up and you've gone, I like horror films. And then I've said to you, you're like, I've watched one, I hated it. You know what, though? I appreciate the help. You've been great at filling time, and that means a lot to me. Now, I think we're moving on to our last act of the first half. Isn't that exciting? So I've got someone very, very special to introduce to you. He's my boyfriend. No, he's not. He is someone else's, I think. But I would love to introduce to you the incoming comedy president, the lovely, lovely Will Lyle. I'm not going to kiss you.
He lied. He stayed at my house the other day, and we made sweet, sweet love. Oh, it's been a humiliating day. Did anyone come to the sketch show earlier? Yeah. Oh no, you've seen things that I want to erase from my mind. Now, although Dan Villano is one of my other halves, I do have another one at home, and my twin brother. You know, we were in the womb for 9 months. Don't know if you've ever been in a womb with someone before, but pretty crazy place. Oh, I'm quite tired. I had my last exam the other day. Is there any philosophy students in? Oh, the last exam destroyed everyone. It was history of modern philosophy. I don't know if anyone knows anyone that suffered with that, but yeah, I died. But I am a philosophy student. I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to be good. I recently became vegan. Do we have any vegans in? Yeah? How long have you been vegan?
Like 3 years.
3 years. Because when I normally talk to people who have become vegetarian or vegan recently, they normally do it like a pregnant woman. They're like, I've been vegan for 3 months. So anyway, I'm in my first trimester of veganism. It's going pretty good. I'm having a good time. I'm so tired. I was trying to figure out what bits to do before this, and it was okay. Now I'm gonna roll with the humiliation kind of theme and tell you about the worst gig I've ever done, which coincidentally was in France. I was on a pilgrimage. Even though I'm not religious, I was just having a good time, and and the gig was on a roof like this, and everyone there was very old, and no one could hear anything. So, and also the lights kept turning off, so no one could see anything. So I just want to get everyone back to that gig. So if everyone closes their eyes, and I'll do the set I did at that gig. Now I can see a lot of sunglasses, but I'm gonna trust you. Tech team, you gotta close your eyes too. You can't get out of this. I'm seeing some eyes open. I'm sorry. Don't make me flip and come and expect everyone. People are hiding their faces now, which I respect. Thank you, everyone. Now I'll begin. I'm seeing some. I can't begin until you all flip and close your eyes. Okay? The energy in the room's not good right now. You've gotta commit with me on this bit. Okay? You've gotta promise me you flip and closing your eyes. Guys, I'm still seeing some eyes open, and this is. I'm getting angry. Tech team, I saw that, tech team. I know you've got to look at the tech and stuff, but this is important to me. I'm seeing some eyes.
We've blacked out the stream, so.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Now I can finally start the bit. I'm seeing some joke. Take this. You'll need it. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Was that good? I don't. But yeah, I'm vegan. And you know it means you have to care about animals. And now, guys, you can open your eyes now. It's fine. You can turn the cameras back on. I need to be perceived. Tag team, you can open your eyes. It's okay. It's okay. I'm here. Okay. So there was a frog in my kitchen the other day, and what do you do about that? I've never had a frog in my kitchen before. Everyone was gone. It was reading week, and I was terrified. There was this frog. What do you do to a frog? I thought they were like moths first, so I tried a light. I thought that was going to work, but the frog was behind the bins. The frog was having a good time. So I looked it up on Google, and apparently frogs like sounds. And you know, how else would one attract a frog? Unless you're doing a Kermit the Frog kind of what's the pig's name? Miss Piggy impression. So I'm gonna do my Miss Piggy impression now, just for you all. Okay, let me just get in character real quick, and we'll see if any frogs come on stage. We'll see. Yeah. Thank you. That's my time. I'm done. Was that?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've gone over. I'm a horrible man.
That was well. That was a weirdly abrupt ending. Will, man, I love you. You were stressing me out because I'm like, you've done your 5 minutes, and he's going. Mine sounded more like Marge Simpson, I think. I didn't quite get the Miss Piggy cadence there, but I did my best. That's Will. I'm actually. I'm really trying to think of things to say, but you know what? Will's stressing. You're just I'm having a go at you right now. You're just stressing me out. Earlier he was like, I'm going off, Dan. I need to write my set. What do you mean? I'm just calling you out, man. I'm sorry. I love you really, though. You know that, right? All right, cool. That's a no. That's a no, I think. No, I don't think we actually have time to do my planned interval, so I think I'm instead just going to move on to our next act, who is, and I've forgotten again what the running order is, because I'm very professional, and you can tell that I've actually done this before. The person who is going actually seems to know better than I do. So we have, as our next act, a Chortle semi-finalist, woo, and the resident Comedy Society old man. Please give a round of applause to Andy Lloyd.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, so just a quick heads up before I get started. This comedy set, I'm just going to start my timer so I don't upset Dan. There we go. Just a quick warning. This contains one line which you might find upsetting. So, I'm 30 years old. I did warn you. I'm 30 years old and I'm a student because having dreams is for when you're asleep. A few people have talked about dreams this evening. Nah. Some of my 30-year-old friends have started suggesting that I might be having something of a midlife crisis, which, first of all, no, because you can't call it that because it wasn't grown in the midlife crisis region of France. It's actually just a sparkling deficit of impulse control. But really those guys are just jealous because while they're, settling down, getting married, whatever, I'm doing cool things like this, like getting tattoos, growing my hair until I look like if you ordered Kurt Cobain from Team U. But yeah, they keep insisting, sort of say to me like, oh, Andy, you're getting another tattoo, you know, you're having a crisis. And I'm like, you're having a baby? What's your point? Which one of us is really in a crisis? My friends have started having kids on purpose, mostly. But yeah, that's not the same. You can't make that comparison. Just don't be silly. You know, like you're doing this, and you're going to have that thing forever now. I'm like, so are you. What's your point? I got to choose what mine looks like. That didn't go down well. Yeah, I got to choose what mine looks like. Also, if I don't like it, I can get rid of it with a laser anytime I want. You can't do that with an actual small human. You're not a Bond villain, son. Call my friend son when I'm a man-child. That really upset him. But no, none of my friends can ever be Bond villains because you may have noticed if you've watched any Bond films, no one in any of them ever has a Birmingham accent. Just doesn't work. Just doesn't fit the whole thing. No, you can't order two litres of white lightning, shaken, not stirred. I've got a bit of Birmingham trivia actually that I like to share with people at these sorts of things. So this is a true fact that most people surveyed said they'd rather have chlamydia than a Birmingham accent. It sounds harsh, but not only is chlamydia a lot easier to get rid of, it's also actually, it turns out, less off-putting to potential sexual partners. Just in case you're wondering how I get on with the ladies. So it's like, you know, James Bond can have all the diseases that he wants and he still gets the girl in the films. But as soon as he says, my name's Bond, James Bond, all of a sudden it's not happening. But yeah, I don't want to rag on kids too much. I sound like I'm being harsh. My friends' kids are all lovely, mostly. And I think that I want to have kids one day, you know. I just know that I'm really not ready for it. I'm riddled with ADHD. I've got a lot of ADHD. It's just daft things like I was making myself breakfast. I cracked an egg into my coffee. Went to do the second egg. Wait a minute, where's the... Oh, no. What am I like? That's all good fun. Imagine me responsible for the care of a baby. Like one afternoon, I'm just putting the baby down for a nap. So that's not a baby. That's a pile of dirty laundry. Where's? Oh no! All of a sudden, things got serious. This is going to lead us to an awkward conversation when Mommy gets home. Oh my God! Where's the baby? Why is the white laundry pink? That was the line. Splits the room, but joke's on you guys, we're not in a room, so it's all good. But babies, you know, they don't come with those little labels on them that tell you how to do all that stuff. If they did, it'd say hand wash only. Do not tumble dry. Made in China. I don't know where babies come from. Well, I guess that's about all I have for you. If you've enjoyed listening to me, you can follow me home. But I wouldn't recommend it because, like I said before, Birmingham. So, thanks very much.
Andy Lloyd! So, Andy, I joked about him being old, and he is, don't get me wrong. But I must admit, I'm in a similar boat. I'm turning 22 this year. That's rough. I'm sorry to someone said fuck you on that sort of, and I'm sorry. But no, so I'm in this weird sort of limbo state, because when I'm here on campus with you youths, I feel wrong. I don't like it. I get called old man. I get all of these things. It's rough. But on my course, I'm with a bunch of mature students. They're all in their like 30s plus. And so they come to me about their kids. Right, I had one lady, she was like, Dan, can I ask you something as someone with young? That's not what I was going to say. Someone with longer hair. And I was like, of course, Cassandra. Whatever you need. And she says, Dan, my son, he's just going into school, and he's got long hair like you. Did you get bullied in school? And yes, was the answer. Only slightly related, though, so it's fine. I'm sure her kid will be fine. But no, it's actually, I'm with these people. I mentioned earlier, I've got to do 100 hours of client work. Really easy to get that client work in. All I need to do every week, whenever we come in, I can just go, hey Karen, how are the kids? That's an hour, gone, easy, ticked off. How's the husband? Weeks, gone, gone. It is so easy because these people are like trauma dumping NPCs. It is a fantastic environment if you want to get your hours up. Terrible environment if you've got your own trauma. Anyway, moving swiftly on from that, I think we've got our next act. Ooh. I need to remember who the next act is. No, I know who the next act is. I know who the next act is. He says as he's going to check who the next act is. The next act is... Oh. It's Will number 2. Everybody welcome the lovely Will Hahn! Are you going to be all right with the equipment?
I think so.
Okay, if you want, I can just hold the mic. Oh, okay, cool. Well!
And my surname is number 2. Thank you, tech team. I'm sure as soon as I walked onto this terrace, a white man with an acoustic guitar. Yes, I am a nuisance. Hey guys, before I get started, I'm gonna play a song for you. And before I get into it, I'm singing from the perspective of a character who's very straight, very toxically masculine. So that's not me. And now I'm gonna assume my persona. All right. So I go on a lot of dates. They always seem to fail. So this is a song about a date I went on. I thought it went well. Anyway, here's a song. I've had a lovely night. The moon hangs in the sky just right. I'm glad you had such fun, 'cause I did too. I walk you to your door. The spark between us is nothing like before. I'm glad I took this chance. I think this might be it, the start of a perfect romance. Wow. What a great date, I think to myself. Oh, fuck, wait! I forgot, do you have Instagram? No pressure, of course. No pressure, of course. Or maybe, do you have Snapchat? It's a little bit more risque. But hey, you can trust me. I'm one of the good ones. I could text you all day long with my adventures in daring do. But if that's not your thing, I could just intentionally ghost you. We could share stories of what we're having for lunch. I would text you eloquently, a sandwich with ham, and that's why you should date me on Instagram. Uh-oh, give me your Instagram. You could stalk my profile, I'm sure that's incentive enough. All of my photos of white t-shirt and jeans, photos of me holding fish and looking tough. I can be funny, though there's a goofy side to me. Like there's a photo of me and my boys, and the caption, just me and my boys. I'm relatable, I'm very open and emotionally available. Please give me your Instagram. Please give me your Instagram. Please give me your Instagram, or else I'll scream, or else I'll scream. Please give me your Instagram. Please give me your Instagram. Please, please. If you're having doubts, you're on the fence, but I'm at your door. I promise I won't be one of the guys that finds you a bore. I give you my undying faith to tell you my workout routine, because I would kill myself before I leave you unseen. Please give me your Instagram. Please give me your Instagram. Please give me your Instagram, or else I'll scream, or else I'll scream. Please give me your Instagram. Say I do and show me your phone screen. Also, if you're wondering, my workout routine primarily consists of lean. Please give me your Instagram. Thank you. There was no second date.
I've got 2 mics now. Thank you. Wilhan the Musical Man! I feel a little bad that Will confided that there was no second date and we clapped that. That was a bit of a low blow. There's a moral. There's a moral. Never ask for someone's Instagram. Rule number 1, I like that. But yeah, we're into the second half now. How are we all feeling? I'm noticing the energy is down. That's troubling. How are we finding the second half? I like that Dylan screamed, thank you. So, we're into the second half. We're nearing the end of the show. Isn't that sad? This is turning into Panto. That was a better joke than anything I've said in maybe the past half hour. I appreciate that. But yeah, so we're getting there. We've got 3 more acts. Only 3. Only 3, unless you count me in the middle, in which case we've got 6. But no, let's be real here. We're not counting me. I think. Can someone tell me what the time is? Ed, can you check the time for me, mate?
It's 28 minutes past 8.
Thank you. That is, I've got a watch on. I don't know why. My watch isn't even right. That tells you a lot about how prepared I am for this. Can you tell this is my first time emceeing? So I think we're probably on to our next act. Are we ready for the next act? Yeah! Woo! Perfect. I would love to introduce you to the lovely Joy!
Something seems off about this crowd. Right, you're racist. Yeah. I've seen you at a Tommy Robinson rally, right? You threw the glass at the... Okay. You've got daddy issues? Yeah. You've got mummy issues? Mummy and daddy issues? What the... Anyways, yeah. Racism. I think fascism's gone woke these days. Right. Kanye's a Nazi. It's Kemi Badenoch. Elon's autistic. And, like, we've got, like, fascism diversity hires. You know? Which is a lot more inclusive, which is... I don't know, it's just sometimes when I start talking about race in front of a crowd of white people, I'm like, do you guys want to hear some beatboxing? Okay, beatboxing, it's sort of normal, it's like drumming, you know? And then they start adding the weird noises, like... And then they add random words into it. Intersectional feminism. Toilet paper. See, I used to want to be a rapper, but like I don't really have rapper vibes. I think. See, because rappers live by 2 rules, right? Fuck bitches and get money. And as an asexual anti-capitalist, what am I supposed to rap about? Took that bitch home and then we cuddled. It doesn't have the same ring to it. You know, and like, I'm not really even materialistic enough to be a rapper. Like, I'm not into cars. Like, my dream car would probably be like buses if they were less shit. Right, like, I don't want a Lamborghini, I just want Stagecoach to turn up on time, you know? So yeah, public transport. What else is there? Toilets. I think toilets suck. What is it? Urinals suck? I feel like there's 2 things you'd want in the toilet, like privacy and something to clean yourself with after. Both of which are lacking in... Like, what do you guys, like... Because I've heard apparently, do you just... How do you clean up? But yeah, I find them weird. Because there's these symbols on the toilets, right? Like stick figures. One of them's wearing a skirt. All right. So like the skirt toilet. But people don't like it when I... The other one, I don't know what it's wearing. People also don't like it when I'm in that toilet. I think I've got to stop licking the floor when I go to the toilet. I don't... Oh, God, okay. I have ADHD. I don't. I'm so sorry. Generally, every time I want to, I don't even remember what I'm talking about. Okay. So. What's your name, sir?
Me. Cosmo.
Cosmo. Oh, that's a nice name. Did you pick it yourself?
Unfortunately not. No. I wish
Really?
I wish I could take.
So you have cool parents.
Like everyone says that, but then
No?
They wouldn't even call themselves cool.
Oh, so why did they pick it Cosmo?
Because it was like in a book of names from the 1920s, and they just found it. Like,
Oh, so they're inspired by the 1920s. Okay. Yeah. I think Kanye is also inspired by 1920s. So. That was back when the fascists were all white people. Huh? Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, I'll leave you this. Okay, so adults love lying to kids, I think, right? I got told many lies as a kid, like the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy, and I've got sweets in my van, right? But I think one of the worst lies is when we learn all the different noises that animals make, right? Like, we're told that cows moo. But have you ever seen a cow moo? Like, if you saw a real life cow and it went moo, I'd shit myself. Right. Like, cows don't move, they. Alright. Well, owls don't go to it, woo. They're like. They sound like they're in pain. Like. And lastly, pigs don't oink. They go, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be taken as evidence. All right. Thank you, that's all I've got for today.
Joy, everyone! Yeah, I'm so grateful that Joy didn't put the microphone away. Like, every single person has done that so far, and I then have to immediately remove it from the stand. I'm sorry, did I...
Not me, baby.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Joy and Martha did great. They're my favourite two acts so far. No, does anyone here keep up with the news at all? Sorry?
It's bad for your mental health.
I agree. But I think there is a way you can do it that's actually quite good for you, right? So what I do is I get all of my news, right? All of my news from my nan's vague recollection of what she heard on the radio. So if you ask me, I mean, I know everything that's going on, right? I know that that guy from the education got punched. That guy from the education got punched. Elon Musk is the guy from the education, I think. I could go on, mate. I know all about the news. But yeah, just feeling you all out. Just trying to get a feel of the vibes. Is anyone here to... Sorry, I'm throwing this so bad. Is anyone here into astrology at all? Oh, I heard a few sounds. Hello. Are you, what's your name? Phoebe. Tell me about astrology. What's going on there?
I just think it's very interesting. You can learn some things about yourself. It's also fun to look at the charts.
When you say learn things about yourselves, do you mean like what month you were born in? Because I'm on top of that. I know all about that. I was in July. Which I've been told is apparently a bad one. Is that true?
Well, there's two you could be.
I'm Cancer. Whoa. I noticed some unease there. I'm fine. I get my balls checked. It's all good. Is Cancer... Hang on. I need to move on from Cancer, I think. I think I need to move on from that bit. Thanks for your help, by the way. I totally ruined that bit myself. That was entirely on me. What's the other July one? Sorry? Leo. What's Leo like?
Leo is fire and lion.
Leo, you heard it here first, everyone. Leo is lions. If we have any lions in the crowd tonight... Oh, okay. How many lions, right? This is an important question, and I need the opinion of as many people as possible. How many lions do you think could beat the sun in a fight? How many lions? I need answers. This is important for my mental health.
Like 5 billion?
5 billion, okay.
Tiny. Wait,
At least a quadrillion.
Yeah.
At least.
Sure.
A quadrillion.
I want to like narrow down the question. Are we talking the sun like in the sky or like the newspaper?
Now, I was thinking like the big fireball, but again, that could be either of them. Okay, let's go with the newspaper, and then we'll move on to the big thing in the sky. One. Everyone in the sun.
No, because they're like unarmed, right? So what it
I would not be surprised if they weren't.
if the lion gets like a stealthy leader, say it's in the toilet, and there's another guy in the next cubicle. Start in the toilet. You've got like at least 5 guys in the urinals, like one after the other. Hopefully the editor-in-chief is in there, and then morale goes down. So then you go like fucking crazy, and then it goes fucking crazy on the news section, and then maybe it's like, I don't know, Saturday, and everyone's gone.
Honestly, Cosmo's got this shit. Like, I can't lie, Cosmo's doing a better job than I am. But I would be impressed if a lion could use guerrilla tactics. Not entirely out of the question, but I would be impressed. How many for the thing that's over there? What do you reckon?
Like 4.
4. At least, I reckon. At least 4.
Enough to stack up to it, at least.
Enough to stack up to it. What? So like unscrew it?
Ultimate light bulb in the how many does it take to change a light bulb?
The sun is the ultimate light bulb. Whoa! I feel like I've just had my first joint. Like, whoa! The sun's like a big light bulb. What the hell? What the fuck? I think I've killed enough time. So, we've got our second to last act for tonight. And we've got the first act is someone that I have dubbed a member of the, just totally self-dubbed, a member of the Doctor Who duo. Please welcome to the stage the lovely Luke!
Hi guys, guess what? Today is in fact my birthday. That's right. Tomorrow, also my birthday. Day after that, also my birthday. People keep telling me that I'm misunderstanding the situation and I don't get how Pride Month works. But honestly, I just think they're dodging out on giving me presents. If you couldn't tell by my birth month and my general vibe, I am transgender. And there's a lot of misconceptions about being trans. Not just the fact that people think that we only have one birthday a year, which, as I've said, incorrect. But also some people seem to think that trans people have privilege over. Is it default settings? Is that the preferred term that you all... Some people think trans people have privilege over default settings people. And actually, some people are wrong because all people should think that because it's true. I'm going to get there, okay? It's a hot take. I understand, controversial. However, I'm going to need to give you some background here, all right? What's the ultimate joke a male comedian can tell? It's a small dick joke, right? Right, because it's the combination of the subversion of expectations, humility, self-deprecation. So as a trans man, I have the ultimate comedy privilege. And the only thing better than a small dick joke is a no dick joke. Those have been popular forever, okay? That's why eunuchs were so big 1,000 years ago. I'm bringing that back. And no dick jokes also have a lot more potential than small dick jokes. Someone goes up to you and goes, "Hey, why have you got a small dick?" You just kind of have to go, sorry. Someone says, "Why have you got no dick?" Whole range of excellent responses. Let me run you through a few, okay? Shark attack. Lost it in a bet. You should see the other guy. If you can't make one of your own, store-bought is fine. That one works better if you've got a prop. And then there's the, I actually got hit by this invisibility curse that had a very small range. See, that works both as like a dick joke in the present and a small dick joke in the past. So it's got layers. I do very intellectual comedy. We're very smart here, you know? So, I mean, you know what? It might be like legally ambiguous as to if I'm allowed to go in public toilets because, you know, my transness is like inherently threatening or something. But at least I've got that comedy no dick privilege. And another means of comedy privilege, right, is like, so if you want to do like observational comedy, you kind of want to sort of be able to, you know, really pick apart all these social interactions in your brain, really overanalyze them and kind of come at things from like a real outsider's perspective. And in other news, I'm autistic. So great fucking news for me. Autism, that brings massive comedy privileges. But it's a little bit more complicated though, because this is something they don't tell you until you get autism diagnosis, right? But like I got my diagnosis and they go, you have level 1 autism. What the? I didn't know they were keeping score. I'm sorry, what does that mean? Like, okay, so they just gave me like this information that's like vague, incomplete, seems incredibly important, but like I'm not being given all of the pieces of information. This is basically, to an autistic person, the equivalent of cyanide poisoning, okay? Incomplete information, I cannot be dealing with that. So it's like, for example, like, is it like, am I like first place? Am I 1 out of 10? Like what level are we at with like level 1 autism? That could mean so much. Is this like a video game type situation? Do I have to be like leveling up? I need to know if I have to be like out there like on the autism grind, trying to get XP. What do I even do for that? Like, do I just have to start like chugging vaccines or what? Like, I don't know, how do I level up? It's really confusing, that. And so you might be thinking like, right, so like how does someone put a number on this like human experience? You know, how, and you might even be thinking like, okay, so we need to get more specific with it. We want to like really fine tune this. We want to be like assigning units of measurement. What's the unit of measurement for autism? What, like, sorry, 1 info dump. Like, what, how do you do that? You might even be thinking like, okay, we need to be like taking this even more. We need to be doing, I want to see like incrementing the different values. I want to like have like a proper write-up of this. I need spreadsheets. And if you are thinking that, then I'm sorry, but that does mean that you have caught it from me. But good news is you now have comedy privilege. So yeah, but I've been thinking about it and I think I figured out what these different levels of autism mean, right? So level 1 autism is where basically your autism is kind of like, it's not too inconvenient to other people. So other people can kind of look at you and go, yeah, you can be one of the good ones. Level 2 autism is where you can just look at a crime scene and instantly know who did it. And level 3 autism is telepathic communication with trains. But a lot of other things come from autism as well. Like, for me, I've got an absolute shite memory, and some of that links to autism. And the annoying thing about that is that means that sometimes one comedy privilege can cancel out another, because sometimes I forget I'm trans. Let me explain. Typically, I'm not saying I result back to, like, default settings or whatever you lot call yourselves. Like, I always remember that I'm a dude, but it's just like the specific origins and circumstances of my dudeness I might, you know, occasionally forget. And that can be quite scary, right? Like, okay, maybe more just odd, but like, hear me out. So like, let's say you're at home chilling, you're not wearing a binder at the time because you sometimes like breathing. You look down, you're like, who the fuck put those there? That's not meant to be there. That's, what the fuck? Is this a prank? Are there cameras? Oh shit, there is a camera. Or like, I don't know. Okay, the worst of it is if you forget that you're trans and you're on your period. Like, you look down, okay. Penis missing. Blood everywhere. Pain excruciating. Something terrible has happened here. See, what I tell you, people love the no dick jokes. Anyway, thank you all. Happy birthday to me and also to some of you all out in the fucking audience. I see you. And yeah, thank you very much.
Luke, everyone! Now, I think it's late enough in the show that some of you may have noticed this, but actually, there's a thing in comedy that where you hold the mic tells you how confident that performer is, right? So the lower you hold your mic, the more confident you supposedly are. I'm going to tell you a story. I'm not going to keep doing this. I'm going to tell you a quick story because I need to kill time. And what better way to kill time than embarrassing myself? No, this one's not an embarrassing story. But does anyone here go to a Catholic school?
Yeah.
There's a few traumatized people in the audience. But what's your name, lovely? Ra. Did you have mass at school?
Yes.
Yeah. How was that?
It was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah.
That sounds like someone who never went to any of them.
I was in the choir, so I went to every single one.
Oh shit. Oh.
No, I'm Christian, so it was fine. Like, it was just a bit annoying. It was fine.
If you need to talk about it, I've got hours to make up. Like,
I leave tomorrow, so I can't.
No.
Yeah.
There goes my 3 hours. I will miss you. I will miss you greatly, on a real level and also counselling. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about some of the masses that happen at my school, and when I say some of them, I mean all of them, right? So, just in case any of you aren't aware, what you would do is there would be hymns and readings and shit like that, and then about halfway through, you would go up to the priest, and you would either receive the communion, which is the bread and the wine and shit, or you would get a blessing from the priest, right? Where he'd touch your forehead like that, sign of the cross, whatever, move on with your life. It was a Catholic secondary school, so it was a bunch of 11 to 18-year-olds who hate the church, and so we decided what we would do is we'd have a bit of a laugh. And now, I must add, this happened literally every single mass. We had 6 masses a year, so this happened 42 times, I think, throughout my entire time at school, where upon going up and receiving the blessing, the priest would touch someone's forehead, and upon being touched on the forehead, they would start writhing around on the floor like they'd been possessed by the devil. And they would start hissing and screaming, and this happened literally every single time. Different person every single time. There was a whole system set up. There must have been a group chat and everything. And it got to a point where our school was fed up with it. And it started off like you'd get like an after school, and then by the end of it, it was like suspensions and expulsions and things like that. And I remember being in form one day, and I remember my form tutor going, "Guys, we've got mass coming up. You know what that means. Please stop pretending to be possessed by the devil. The priests are getting really sick of it. They might not come back. I need you to stop doing this." Didn't work. Why would it work? Why would it work? Of course not. These are the same priests that came in and were like, "Guys, we're doing the story of Jesus washing the disciples' feet. Some of you have got to get your toes out." Which obviously we were so up for, right? No, that was a real story, and I remember my form tutor looking me in the eyes and going, "Dan, you've got to take one for the team." That was a rough day at the office. Now, I think we're going to be moving on to our final act of the evening. Ooh. We've got someone who is a Chortle semi-finalist. Ooh. Someone who has written for the BBC. Ooh. And someone who has not shut the fuck up about the fact they've written for the BBC. I'm kidding. He's lovely. Please welcome Alex!
Thank you. Evening, everyone. What a fine evening to stare into the sun together, huh? Hope we're all enjoying the lack of vision. I mean, frankly, even if the sun wasn't there, I'd still look like a silhouette to you, dressed as I am, like a background guard in a Bond movie. You might not be able to see me that well, but I can see all of you pretty damn clearly, to be honest. It's quite a nice turnout that we've got. I'm happy to see you all here. Thanks for coming, although the audience has gradually thinned out as time gone on. I hope that wasn't in anticipation of my set, but I can't swear that it wasn't. Dan did say to me just as I was going off, "Oh, take as long as you want, mate," which are words that will definitely cause the crowd to thin out, I think, going, shit, this guy's going to be on forever. I can certainly see all of you quite well. This, is, to be honest, is quite a lot of people for me, because I come from a small village in Cambridgeshire, so this is more people than I've ever seen. Which, you know, does make it sound like I had a very lonely and sad childhood. Yeah, that's true. I don't think my childhood was helped much by my parents. My mother, for example, hasn't noticed me getting older through the years, because she still thinks I'm 5. I went out the other day, and I said, "I'm just going out, Mum," and she went, "Oh, okay. Remember, you'll need your shoes on." Yeah, I thought so too. I was planning on it though. I mean, I'm only going to the pub, it's not a pilgrimage. My dad had it the other way around, as he introduced adult things far too early on. I remember him saying to me once, "Alex, this is a dad moment." It's like, okay. He said, "I'm going to teach you something about life." I was like, "Right." And he held up a tin of Vaseline, and he said, "Don't use this as lube." Oh, okay, yeah, that's my evening spoiled. I mean, I really wasn't planning on it, Dad. He says, "No, but you must never do it, because it'll perish the rubber of a condom." I was like, okay, where's this sentence going? Well, what are you going to say next? I was unplanned? I owe my existence to Mum's chapped lips? I mean, what? He said, no, I just thought I'd tell you this, and I hope you will remember it. Oh, trust me, Dad, this moment is never leaving my head. Any chance you could have waited, though, until we were indoors rather than in the middle of Tesco, because staff are giving us funny looks. But there you go. But, you know, in spite of everything that happened, my childhood did continue, and I have got older, in spite of what my mother thinks. And I'm now a student comedian. Hooray! Hooray. Doesn't usually get that good of a reaction, to be perfectly honest. Student comedy's weird, though, because you're always playing to student crowds. Like, if you're talking to an ordinary crowd, you can say, "Hey, what do you do?" And whereas if you say that to a student crowd, "Hey, what do you do?" the answer is nothing, because they're students. So you have to ask, "What course do you do?" which is a boring question, and you get very weird answers. I asked somebody once, and they said, "Oh, I do discrete maths." What the hell does that mean? That's... What, you do maths and you won't tell anyone the answers? Is that being discreet, is it? What, you do maths and you write the sums in invisible ink? Or do you do offshore accounts for military intelligence? I don't know. Being part of the Comedy Society at Warwick has been fun for me, but it's had its ups and downs, because I also have to take charge of all the comedy props, which we have as a society, which has been a roller coaster, because I expected this all to be like clown costumes and jingly hats, and then I got given 4 holdalls full of shit, which I had to store in my house, and I opened the first one of them up, and inside it, the very first item I saw was a dildo, which we have no reason to own. Like, I promise you, whatever events you come to, put on by Warwick Comedy Society, they're not going to be like that. And I was like, okay, I don't want us to have this, we got to get rid of it. And then my housemate went, "No, hang on a minute. If the dildo disappears in your possession, that looks rather suspect." And I was like, "Oh God, yeah, you're right." And he said, "Yes, you need to dispose of it publicly." That's too far the other way. You know what? The police arrested a 21-year-old male in Coventry City Centre for attempting to set fire to a dildo with a hand light. That's not the kind of thing you live down. But equally, I don't know how to get rid of a dildo. You know, that's not a world I'm part of. I don't understand these things, and I'm not Googling it. Because if you Google how to destroy a dildo, the results returned will certainly be interesting, but they won't really be what I'm after. I mean, I just had to think of ideas to do it. The best idea I could come up with to get rid of it was Secret Santa, which didn't work, and I got sacked. So the dildo remains. Yeah, that's my childhood. As I say, I've certainly got older, clearly, because I'm dealing with these things now. But even when I was younger, my life wasn't really that normal. It was always unexpectedly adult. We were talking about birthdays a little earlier. Well, my birthday is the 11th of November. Can anybody tell me what very special day 11th of November also is? Yes, it's Remembrance Day. That led to some interesting vibes on my birthday. You know, happy birthday. Minute silence here. Other children, when you asked them what their birthdays was, when we were like very young children, "What did you do on your birthday, Tommy?" "Oh, it was great. I played football with my friends, and then we went to a bouncy castle, and Mum gave me a cake. What about you, Alex?" I took a moment to remember. Remember all the dead of all the wars there have ever been. My thoughts drifted to the fields of Passchendaele and the Somme, of young men, boys, cut down on what should have been the first steps into their lives, ending up in sickening mass graves, nameless and lost, blowing with the dust of no man's land. Their families at home, never getting any news for months, and then the dreaded letter coming, telling them that their father would never kiss his children again. And then I got a bike! You know. Very, very, very weird vibes. This is probably giving you an idea of how over-analytical I am as a person, to be honest, which has kind of destroyed my ability to enjoy my life. Which is a bit heavy for this evening, but you know what? Why not mention it? It's important to share these things. I used to like a lot of things I now don't like. Who here likes Bond movies, for example? Oh, no one. Oh, one person has their hand up liking Bond movies. Well, the rest of you are going to love this set then. Because I used to like Bond movies, but these days they just speak to me of a very weird meeting at MI6 where they're like, okay, we've got a tense situation brewing in a very unstable part of the world. It could involve international terrorism and nuclear weapons. Do you want us to send in our best agent? And then M goes, no. I think we should send in a middle-aged alcoholic sex pest. What, James? Yeah. What, do you not think he's a good spy? Well, no, because his catchphrase is saying his real name. Twice. He drinks a very distinctive drink, and he drives a really, really expensive cars that always explode. I mean, I think we need to be getting an MOT in for those things. Also, he starts every day with a martini breakfast. I don't think we should be giving him a gun. No. James is the man for the job. I think he's who we need. Really? Well, I think you're an idiot. How did you even get into military intelligence in the first place? Well, I just did discrete maths at uni, and then there was a conversion course. You have been a joy to talk to, and it's been a wonderful event. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting us, and I hope you all have a great rest of the Arts Festival. Thank you very much.
To put the mic into the stand for me to just then remove it. So, we've come to the end of our gig. Thanks. As the sun quite literally sets in a strangely poetic way. I've got a few people that I would like to thank. I would like to thank our acts. First of all, a big round of applause for the lovely Fred. Now I need to remember all the acts. We have Fred, we have Mother. We have Ed. We've got Will. We've got Raph. We've got Joy. Will Han. Luke, who is somewhere. Luke. And Alex Lee. I don't think I've missed anyone. I miss Andy. Oh my God. Andy, I am so sorry. Yeah, thank you all so much for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure to have so many of you here tonight. And one more round of applause for yourselves, everyone. Woo! I shall hand you over now to the Arts Festival team. And that'll be everything from me. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yes. Thank you so much for coming. There's obviously a lot of you here, so please make your way out safely. And yeah, we're going to try and count you as you go out because we're quite excited by how many people have turned up. So yes, thank you so much for coming. There's more of WSAF tomorrow and Monday, and we have a sunset session here tomorrow evening if you want to come to that. But yeah, thank you so much for coming, and enjoy more comedy things in the future. All right.